Presidential candidate, none other than former Florida Governor Jeb Bush. Of course, this is one of the biggest issues with regard to national security. And Governor, we welcome you back to WBZ. Is the Pentagon on the right track by sending more troops to Syria?
They're not on the right track in the following sense. They don't have a strategy. There's not a clear strategy. I think it's appropriate to send troops, but it ought to be based on a strategy to destroy ISIS, not to contain it, not to kind of figure it out as you go along. And it appears to me that this is basically a strategy to run out the clock for the next president to deal with it. It's a disaster, and it's been created by the lack of will of the United States.
Well, of course, we want to know what your plan would be, Governor. If you were elected president, what would you do right now?
I would create a no-fly zone over Syria, and I would create safe zones inside of Syria to allow for the remnants of the Syrian Free Army to be trained and to be financed and to be built up. I would do the same in Iraq in the following sense, that we would directly arm the Kurds. We would re-engage with the Sunni tribal leaders to create the partnership that led to the surge that was successful in wiping out al-Qaeda in Iraq. And I would directly embed our troops into the Iraqi military so that we would have much better intelligence of where our sorties should launch their weapons, and in effect create a strategy to not just contain but to destroy ISIS. And it could be done in partnership with the Arab world and with Europe.
Governor Bush, what would you do with and about Vladimir Putin, the front runner in your campaign? Donald Trump says, go ahead, let Russia bomb ISIS, but we have competing objectives there.
We do, and that's why Donald Trump shouldn't be president of the United States. He has no clue what he's talking about. Putin's not interested in partnering with us to take out ISIS. He's there to prop up the brutal Assad regime, and he doesn't strike ISIS to the same extent that he strikes the very forces that we're supporting. Look, this is a serious challenge that we face. We need a serious leader to deal with it, not someone who gets his intelligence and foreign policy briefings from watching the television shows on Sunday morning.
This is a big issue, national security and use of our military, specifically in New Hampshire. What are you hearing from people when you take questions in town hall meetings about this issue?
People are scared. They're scared that this threat is a real one for our national security, for our homeland. They're correct. And they want someone who has a comprehensive strategy to deal with it. And that's basically, at least in the town hall meetings I go to, there's generally a belief that this president has been weak and tepid, and that Hillary Clinton similarly has not shown much leadership in this regard, and they're looking for a leader.